Hi, my name is Jacques Lamont Herman, and I just graduated from Cal State Los Angeles with a theater, arts, and dance major. Graduating from Cal State LA has been so inspirational to me. It's 5 years strong. I'm so proud of myself because it's all about endurance and reliance on God, and I'm just so happy that I made it through. No more midterms, no more finals, no more financial aid. Hey.
I'm Patricia Tone. I'm the president of Tone, Telefilm Organization of Networking Entrepreneurs, a student organization on the campus of Cal State LA. In this project, You Graduated, Now What? We decided to go out into the entertainment industry and speak with leaders about what to expect once you graduate from college. In segment 1, we get a bit of personal information and their backgrounds. And in segment 2, we have questions and answers. Questions from students who've always wondered what to do, how to make it, and what does it take. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. You Graduated, Now What? Volume 1.
My name is Robyn Lattaker-Johnson. I'm the president of Dubose Entertainment. James Dubose, who is the owner and operator of the company, he and I have had a really good relationship for about 4 years, maybe a little over 4 years. I was an executive at BET Networks. I was senior vice president of programming there for about 3.5 years. And he and I worked together on several projects, everything from the Season of the Tiger, which was our first docu-soap together, to Keisha Cole The Way It Is, Hell Date, Comic View. We've just done a lot of shows together. He asked me to come on board when I decided to leave the network and kind of go out on my own and help him broaden the vision of the company. And he has a really big vision. Right now we have a solid reality programming division. You know, we're doing a lot of shows for BET. We've got shows with other networks on air and in development, but we really want to get into scripted. So that was sort of my the main reason why I came. At the same time, we've got several other arms of the company that we're focusing on. We've got a new management company, so we're representing comics and musicians and actors. Not a lot. We're specializing, if you will. So we're not looking to just take on a whole bunch of clients that we're booking on other shows. The whole point is to selectively pick people who we can build shows around. So we've got the management arm, we've got a music publishing division, all of the music that you see in Hell Date and Keisha and Brothers to Brothers, another one of the series that we produce for BET. All of that music is original music, outside of the artists' music that are in some of those shows, but all the music is original music that we own. I kind of oversee much of that. I'm still taking pitches. We're internally developing a lot of ideas, both on the scripted side and on the reality side. So it's you know, there's a lot going on. As an undergrad, I was a broadcast journalism major. I wanted to be, you know, very early on, like right out of college, I wanted to be either a psychologist or a television news anchor person. So at the time I was in the Seattle area. I went to the University of Washington, and I slowly decided, okay, the psychology thing, not so much. I really wanted to be on air. I wanted to be an anchor, but all of the stories that I was producing, they were all sort of fluff pieces. They were the stories that you see, like the last story at the end of the night. You know, after you've seen the sports and there's that last story about the kitty cat that was stuck in the tree. I was doing those stories. I was doing stories about the African American Academy in Seattle and you know, the kids that were going to the zoo, or you know, just those kind of human interest stories basically. And I felt like, I'm less interested in producing the hard news. I was a news junkie. I love the news. But I was less interested in producing the investigative type stories and more interested in the human interest stories, and slowly started to feel like I really would rather write and produce fiction. Like that's sort of what I loved, you know, telling the human stories. So I finished out, you know, the broadcast journalism degree there at the University of Washington and started applying to grad school, and I was accepted at the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena for film. So I got my MFA, and that was sort of my journey, if you will, into entertainment. And it was great. It was a great education. It was very hands-on. You know, anybody there can produce a film as long as you can pay for it. I wasn't able to afford to pay for my own film, but so I basically produced for all of my friends. When I graduated, I had to find a job, and as you guys all know, and you'll find out, it is a challenge to break in and get somebody to sort of take you under their wing. I started off temping. And one day I temped at ICM, International Creative Management, the talent agency. And I was on the phones for a day, and they called me back the next day and said, oh, you know, the other receptionists really thought you were good. We have this spot on the second floor, which at the time was the literary floor. Would you like to come in for an interview? Sure, I need a job. So I came in, I sat down with HR, and she, you know, we chatted for a while. She looked at my resume, and she says, you know, I think you're overqualified for the position. And I said, you think? I mean, I had a master's degree, and she was worried that I would bail quickly, that I would get something else. And she said, well, will you commit to a year? And I said, absolutely, I'll commit to a year. And in my head, I was thinking, you got 6 months. 6 months. So I sat there, you know, I brought my laptop in, I wrote scripts all day and basically answered the phones. Good morning, ICM. Good morning, ICM. Good afternoon, ICM. Good evening, ICM. And you know, I met a lot of people. It was really an exciting time for me. You know, I had a 7-minute conversation with Spike Lee as he came in and was waiting for his agent to come out and get him. You know, I met a lot of people, and that was really interesting for me in my, you know, mid-20s. But at some point I got a little stir crazy sitting at that desk, and I started just sending out cold resumes. It was my routine on Tuesdays and Fridays just to send out my resumes. On Tuesday, Hollywood Reporter. On Friday, The Variety. I would just cold fax, back in the days of faxing. So I would cold fax my resume to every production company that I could, just trying to get a gig. And I had done some PA work, but I was making decent money as a receptionist. I was probably making more money as a receptionist than the assistants who were working on desks. And at the time, I had no desire to be an agent, so I didn't want to go work on a desk. I had several interviews, and I got a call from Rusty Cundiff and Darren Scott's production. They were working on the film Sprung. They were just starting pre-production on Sprung. And I went in and I met with the production coordinator, and she was looking for an office PA. And I said, you know, this sounds really interesting, and it was probably $300 a week less than what I was making. I said, but by any chance, is the director or maybe a producer looking for a personal assistant? She said, well, I don't know, let me check. And she walks in the back, and she comes back out, and she says, you know, as a matter of fact, they are. Why don't you go meet them? So I went and I sat down with Rusty and Darren. And, you know, they were really nice, and they were like, yeah, we do need somebody, but we're supposed to meet with, you know, a friend of a friend of a friend's, cousins, nephews, uncles, brother-in-law, or whatever. But we'll call you. We like you, we'll call you. I said, okay, cool. So a couple weeks went by. I didn't hear from them. I said, all right, totally understood. There was some nepotism working. Not a problem. I'm just going to stay on my grind. And I got a call through the switchboard, but from one of the other offices. Rusty was represented at ICM, and the assistant at that desk said, hi, Robyn. I said, yes. She goes, I have a phone call for you. Okay, which is strange. It was completely opposite. I'm usually the one, you know, giving them the calls. And it was Rusty, and he said, hey, Robyn, how are you? We'd love to offer you the job. Can you start on Monday? That was a Thursday, actually. I was like, absolutely. And I called HR and I said, I'm sorry, but I have to go, and tomorrow's going to be my last day. Literally, it was 6 months to the day that I took the job.
Hi, I'm Daniel. What are the main mistakes you see people make right out of college?
This is just across the board. It's about entitlement. If you come out of college with a sense of entitlement, there's a chance that you're not going to make it, or you're going to be delayed in making it. When you come out of college, you should be ready to learn. There's a lot that you don't learn in the books and you don't learn on the student film shoot that you will find very valuable when you come into this business. I think the biggest mistake coming out of college is believing that you can walk onto set and be a camera operator as opposed to being a PA or a camera assist first. So that's the main thing.
Hello, my name is Jose. how does a person get the opportunity to pitch their ideas?
That's a tough question. And really, in order to pitch an idea, you have to have an agent. Some people get lucky, they can circumvent the system based on their relationships. But at the end of the day, most networks, most production companies will require that you have an agent. It protects everybody. There's a huge collective consciousness out there in the world when it comes to ideas. You may think that you have the best idea on the planet, but I've actually been pitched it 14 times already. And trust me when I say, when I was at the networks that I worked at, I received the same pitches over and over and over again, sometimes with different talent attached, sometimes with the same talent attached or desire for talent to be attached. Networks and production companies have to protect themselves. So when you come through an agent and there's a release form involved, it really helps everybody, protects everyone.
Hi, I'm Sarpong. I understand that there's different criteria for pitches. Can you explain the various elements of pitching and what's needed?
It depends on what you're pitching. Reality shows are different from feature films, which are different from scripted television series. They're all pitched in a different way. At the end of the day, I believe that being clear and concise in your vision is most important. If you're pitching a reality show, you should be able to talk about it very clearly, very concisely, in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes. A lot of people bring what we call leave behind. So you bring a piece of paper that, it might be a package, a small package that have the key elements listed. So it might be talent, format, location, if that's, a key piece of the puzzle for your show. Scripted series is a little different because a lot of folks will come in and they'll pitch out the entire pilot episode. They'll walk you through the pilot episode. So having that script in hand is often key. Some folks also come prepared with a Bible. Sometimes the Bible will come later if they're waiting to be commissioned by a network to write the Bible, which includes synopses for several episodes as well as character biographies and descriptions. There's a lot that goes into a Bible. Feature films, features can be pitched. They're also oftentimes just, give me a script and I'll read the script and get back to you.
Hi, I'm Patricia. Where can a student go to find jobs in the industry?
Oh, a student can go anywhere. It depends on what your focus is. If you are an editor, you want to go to post-production facilities. You want to meet the post-production supervisors. If you want to get a job on set, you really need to get to know production managers and line producers and production coordinators. If you're looking to be an executive, you start as an assistant. So you have to figure out what the best way is to doing that. A lot of folks rely on some of the job listings. There are job listings on the internet. I believe the William Morris assistants have set up a job newsletter that comes out monthly that allows people to find out where the jobs are out there, on the desk, as they call it. If you're looking to be an agent, you can go through the agent trainee programs, which usually start in the mailroom. There are a lot of outlets to finding work. At the end of the day, it's about networking, though. The more people you know, you build these concentric circles where you don't realize that this person over here is a camera operator, but their girlfriend is an assistant at William Morris. So it's really about networking.
Hi, I'm Andre. What level of earnings should a student expect upon entering the industry?
Well, hopefully you have a couple of months left on your parents' on your parents' wallet, because it really depends. I'll just give you this example. When I started out, I was working as a PA and a second AD. I maybe worked 8 days a month. I was making anywhere from $75 a day to $220 a day, depending on the gig. So that just gives you an idea. Of course, this was many years ago, but it gives you an idea of where you might start. I think, and just to be, very honest with you, I know that one of my first years out of college, I think I made $18,000 that year. So that's not a lot of money. And but you figure it out. You have roommates, you make it work, and then you increasingly you do better.
Hi, my name is Alex, and I'm interested in being a producer. How much does it cost to produce a show per episode, and how much can a producer earn per salary?
That's a great question. It really depends on the show, and it also depends on the network. And a lot of folks, here's some examples. If you're producing a reality docudrama, a show like I'm trying to think, like a Real World or Keisha Cole or College Hill or those kind of shows. It depends on the network. You could get anywhere from $200,000 an episode to $600,000 an episode on the very high end, depending on the show. You know, producers generally earn money based on their experience. So a producer could earn $5,000 an episode. They could earn $25,000 an episode. If you're really in the big leagues, I have some very good friends who are producers who can make up to $40,000 an episode, maybe even more. You know, the Mark Burnett's of the world, I don't know, but they make a lot of money. But starting out, you know, I've worked with a lot of young producers who were surprised that they weren't really making that much money at the end of the day, because these are passion projects. Your first show is going to be a passion project, and you're going to do it not so much for the money that goes in your personal account, but for the experience, building your personal track record, that your credits, your resume, those kind of things. You know, that's just reality. Features are different. Scripted television is different. The money is very different in scripted. A lot more money obviously goes into a network television show, and producers can make a nice chunk of change.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Perez. Can you explain what a showrunner is?
Showrunners, there are a couple of different kinds of showrunners, but at the end of the day, the showrunner is in charge of executing the vision and oftentimes coming up with the vision. So on scripted television, you have writing and non-writing showrunners. You've got the David E. Kellys of the world who write and oversee their shows. You've got folks on the non-scripted side who are nuts and bolts showrunners. So they oversee all of the production elements. Then there are the showrunners who are the story supervisors. So they are the ones who are making sure that the story flows from start to finish, and they oversee the senior producers and the field producers, segment producers, story producers, directors, the editing and the post-production. They oversee all of that. And then you've got the really good showrunners in reality or non-scripted television who can do both nuts and bolts and the story side as well.
Hi, I'm Jay. What can a student do in preparation for getting a job in the industry?
Anything that you can do to get some real-world hands-on experience will help you in the industry. I don't think that there's a starting line for getting into the industry. It's whenever you can. So if you're still in school and you have the opportunity to go work one day on a commercial or a weekend on a music video, go do it. There's no magic starting line. You don't have to wait until you're finished. The more experience that you can get, the better. At the end of the day, it's about those connections. It's about the people that trust you to do a good job. It's really about networking.
Hi, my name is Oliver Matt Calhoun, and I just wanted to know, what does a student fresh out of college with no inside connections do to get his or her foot in the door?
Go to parties. No, I shouldn't say that. I hate to be repetitive, but at the end of the day, it's really about networking. You really do have to meet as many people as you can, whether it's Hollywood parties or non-Hollywood parties. Again, being in this town in Los Angeles, there's less than 6 degrees of separation between you and somebody that's going to be able to help you, or somebody that you're going to be able to learn from. So just network as much as you can.
My name is Steve Boca. I am a television and film major. I am graduating from Cal State LA in a few weeks. I want to write, direct, and produce. My ultimate goal is to own my own production company. I'll be the first male in my family to graduate from college. I haven't given it a whole lot of thought because I never thought it would actually happen. Graduating means that I'm finally completing something. More importantly, it's for my mother, who I promised that I would get a degree.
Excel Sharrieff, and I am an entertainment attorney. I've been an entertainment attorney for 10 years now. In undergrad, I was on a debate team, and I actually was, considering actually going to dental school. And I went and tried debate, and I was successful with that. And I did an internship one summer with the law office of Johnny Cochran, and that was during the OJ trial. So once I got a sense or a hint of the actual legal work, I got that bug, and that was it for me. There's no attorneys in my family, not even in my distant family. I'm the only attorney, and so I get a lot of phone calls with, help me out with this or with that, but I'm strictly an entertainment attorney. I went on to Universal Pictures, and that was in the late 90s when we started the whole new media division. And that's with the internet and some of the issues with the copyright with the internet. And from there, I went to South Africa in Cape Town and worked for Millis and Strauss, which is an international entertainment firm. And so we got some litigation experience from there as well. I knew from the very beginning whether I was going to be a plumber, a dentist, I was going to have my own company. I'm the type that I love to do many things, and working under a firm or a company would just confine me. So I wanted to make sure that I can take my skills in the direction that I wanted. And so I asked for help from other attorneys, and they gave me help, and I started my own firm. Well, the advantage, number one, is you do have your freedom. The disadvantage is freedom is a price, because you don't have the necessary resources as far as with the big firm. You know exactly how much you're going to get paid per month, per year, and so forth. With as a solo practitioner, you have no idea, and which is also an advantage because sky's the limit. And so if you have that drive and that determination and you're organized, then you can do whatever you want as a solo practitioner. A lot of times when a client comes into your office, they're interviewing you, but at the same time you have to interview them as well, because you want to pick and choose which clients you represent, because we all know that a lot of business deals can go sour, and you don't really want to be in bed with certain people. And so you have to really have your antenna up and make sure this is the type of person that I can see myself representing from years on. Some of the cases that I won, I really can't talk about because I don't know if you know, but a lot of cases in litigation, 95% never go to trial. And even the ones that's actually filed, before they even file, they get resolved. So you may have a dispute with, just say, for example, Paramount, and before you even file the case, it gets resolved. So a lot of the cases are cases that are not even in court. And if you settle the case out of court, there's always a stipulation not to discuss some of the facts. My ultimate goal in life is simply to be happy. As far as on a professional level, I have many things. I wear many hats. Not only am I an entertainment attorney, I'm also a producer as well, and I also write. And so a lot of people don't know that I wear different hats. And so I have a lot of goals in life, but just on a basic level, just to be happy. Relax. Basically, when I relax is when I get off work and I simply read scripts or I simply hang out with family and friends. But I don't have too much time to relax. It's sad to say.
Hi, I'm Angela, and what are some of the legal concerns a student should have right out of college?
Out of college, some of the legal concerns that most students should have, number one, containing entertainment itself, is you want to make sure you understand a small grasp, at least, of contracts. A lot of times when a student, either in film school or some type of other entertainment education, they come out just understanding their craft and not the business side. I think that it's imperative that most students at least understand the basics of contracts and also contract disputes and how they're resolved.
Hello, my name is Jose. What is the importance of having an entertainment lawyer?
Having an entertainment attorney is extremely important. A lot of times you have students and even some professionals who are afraid to go to counsel because either they lack the funds or they think they can handle it themselves. And that's the number one problems when you see with litigation itself, that people try to either make shortcuts or they're just afraid to address or ask for legal assistance. I think it's very important to actually befriend an attorney, an entertainment attorney in particular, and see whether or not you can have some assistance either at a reduced rate or at least just some type of consultation on the side.
Hi, I'm Patricia. Why is it so difficult for newcomers to find a notable attorney?
Well, most notable attorneys, you have to look at it as a business. Even though they're an attorney, they're in a business. And for example, if you take something like a plumber, if a plumber has a huge contract with an arena and someone calls and say, I'm a homeowner, I have a leaky faucet, would say, well, do I do that or do I actually take care of the big dollars? And so with a notable attorney, they are looking at the big picture. Everything is cost effective. And in order for you to either attract a notable attorney, you have to make sure that your actual project or even your skill level is to a level where the attorneys is going to have confidence in you that one day you will make it or you have the actual right stuff to make it.
Hi, I'm Chase Abrams. How difficult is it for an entertainment lawyer to get a client out of contract after discovering discrepancies in the contract?
Well, it's difficult depending upon where you at in as far as whether or not the performance has actually been executed. And it also depends on the contract itself as well, and who has the most leverage. That's why it's very important early on, before you even sign or consider signing or discussing anything with a producer or with your talent, that you make sure you understand each and every provision in the contract.
Hi, I'm Dion. What is the going rate for hiring an entertainment lawyer?
There's actually no going rate, but I've seen things as small as $150 per hour to anything to a couple of $1,000s per hour. It all depends on the attorney and also the project.
Hi, my name is Angie Jones, and my question is, should a person retain prepaid legal services in the entertainment industry?
Absolutely not. You need someone who understands the entertainment business. That's why it's imperative that if you are just now coming into this profession, you have to see yourself as a professional. And if you are a professional, you have to make sure your team around you are also professionals. And so if you don't have the money or the legal whereabouts to hire an attorney, you have to make sure right now you go into these circles, you infiltrate these circles, and make sure you meet the right people, because you will need them. And you need someone who understands entertainment law.
Hi, I'm Whitney. If you don't have an attorney, what's the first thing a person should look for on a contract?
Once again, always have an attorney. But if you don't have an attorney, at least take the time out to learn the business part of your craft. Open up a book, read that entire book, master that book as far as understanding contracts and understanding what it is how it pertains to you. If you are a director or a film producer, make sure you understand all the major points of a contract. If you are an actor, the same thing. But it's imperative you have to have an attorney.
Hi, I'm Jesus. What kind of protection do I need as a film director?
As a film director, it all depends on what hat you're wearing. If you're a producer or if you are a screenwriter, you have to look at it in those areas. You just don't say I'm a director, because most directors are just work for hires. So, but if you are a producer, you have to understand, okay, am I producing an independent film? Is this major? And everything changes. So it depends on the contract and the area that you're actually going into.
Hi, I'm Sarpong. What happens when two people have the same idea?
An idea is just an idea, so it actually means nothing. For that idea to be actually transferred into something written and something original of your expression, that's when we get into the whole area of copyright. There's a lot of people who have ideas, but once again, you cannot copyright a simple idea.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Monty. Is there a resource one can obtain to find the best lawyer for their needs?
Basically, finding the best attorney for your needs is up to you. You can't simply go to the Yellow Pages or even ask for a referral. You have to do the work yourself and see which person is compatible to your needs. Just because an attorney is notable or an attorney is charging you a high fee doesn't mean that this attorney is going to fit your particular needs. You have to find someone who understands where you're at right now and where you're trying to go and is willing to work with you, every step of the way.
Hi, my name is Angela Miranda. I'm a TVF film major, and I'm going to be graduating in spring of '09. I'm interested in going into something in post-production or editing. I'm not quite sure yet, but graduating is just really scary for me, more than it should be. It's because you spend 4 years learning about something, and then now you're kind of pushed out and you have to deliver what you learned. And I've been a student my whole life, like that's my occupation, but now I have to get out there and network and try to socialize and really get out of my comfort zone and just go for the gold, I guess. But graduating, I'm not sure what I'm going to do afterwards. I know that living is going to be hard now with our economy. I've been dorming here for 2 years because I transferred from a community college, so I've pretty much been on my own for 2 years, and now I have to really get out there and try to find an apartment or a street to live on, so I can just find my way here in Los Angeles. My plan B, though I shouldn't have a plan B, is probably just moving back with my parents and working at our local studio there. It's in San Diego, so we'll see. But I know that I'm definitely going to end up in Los Angeles again one day. It may not be soon, but I'm going to really try to work my hardest to get back here.